Good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. Devo Brown here with you. Time for some entertainment news, and this entire entertainment segment is going to be about Kanye West because, well, I'll be honest, I've made excuses for him in the past, you know, with mental health and things like that, and just what he's gone through with his mom passing away suddenly. It's getting bad, and it's just going from bad to worse. So this weekend, you probably saw him trending all over the place, but you won't see him on Twitter and Instagram right now. He is suspended from both platforms after posting anti-Semitic messages. So here's kind of how things in the timeline of things have been happening. There was a fashion show controversy. So Paris Fashion Week, he showed up, surprised everybody, drew criticism for wearing that, a White Lives Matter shirt. Also appeared during his Yeezy fashion show. Anti-Defamation League has called that phrase hate speech. It's attributed to many white supremacist organizations who began using it back in 2015 in response to the Black Lives Matter movement. There was also a sit-down that Kanye did with Tucker Carlson on Fox News. And there was a lot of little pieces of that interview that was shown. And the network was hyping up Kanye as this, you know, supporting the very right wing and kind of that political side of things. And they were giving him a lot of love. And then after they realized what he was tweeting out, kind of dialed it back a little bit. On the interview, he also discussed the controversial shirt, Donald Trump, Lizzo, and body positive movements, saying that she's unhealthy in what she's doing. Lizzo was in Toronto over the weekend performing. She seemingly, people are saying she never mentioned his name, but he said there's too many people who have my name in their mouth and they need to stop with that. And I'm going to take whatever body size I am and go out there and strut my stuff, basically, is what she said on that.
Yeah.
More criticism coming from him. So Diddy was one person who right away when he saw that White Lives Matter shirt, who spoke up. And here's a clip of him kind of calling out Ye in this situation.
I've always been there and I will always support my brother Kanye as a free thinker. But the White Lives Matter t-shirt, I don't rock with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with it. And with the press and what fashion is doing, thinking it's a joke. But right now, all America has planned for us is poverty, incarceration, and death. So before I could get to any other lives matter, which all lives matter, you know what I'm saying? That Black Lives Matter, don't play with it. If you don't wear the shirt, don't buy the shirt, don't play with the shirt. It's not a joke.
Okay, so obviously Diddy, someone who is a peer hitting the success level that we've seen Kanye West have as well, not impressed with this, and many others. That's just one example of somebody speaking out against it. They then had a text exchange, and Kanye posted a screenshot of this exchange to his Instagram and said, "I didn't like our convo. I'm selling these tees. No one can get in between me and my money." Diddy asked him again to stop. Kanye then replied, quote, "I'm going to use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me." He goes on to now get suspended by Twitter. So he goes to Instagram. All right. And then he also says DEFCON 3 on Jewish people is what he wishes on that. So DEFCON is really what it is. It's a military term, and there's scales 1 through 5 when there's a high alert being issued in the state by the United States military. So that's what he's been trying to compare what he feels towards a certain group of people. That gets him suspended on Twitter, on Instagram. Many stars condemning him for that. Jamie Lee Curtis speaking out on this, tweeting, "The holiest day in Judaism was last week. Words matter. A threat to Jewish people ended once in genocide. Your words hurt and incite violence. You are a father. Please stop." She appeared on the Today Show and spoke about it to the host Coda as well. Check this out.
DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? What are you doing? This is, I mean, it's bad enough that fascism is on the rise around the world, but on Twitter, on a portal, to pour that in as if Jewish people haven't had it hard enough.
Yeah.
And our new movie is as much about what happens about victim shaming, about what happens when a community gets poisoned. And the victim is actually the one who the community piles on.
I've interviewed you a number of times.
So many times.
I have never seen your eyes well up in anger like that.
I literally, I woke up and I thought, my grandparents?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just abhorrent.
Yeah.
It's abhorrent behavior. I hope he gets help. I hope his children get help from him.
There's a lot, and I know I just gave you guys a lot of information over the last 4.5 minutes right there. The one thing I want to say, he's talking about the children. He outed where they go to school. Kim has had to hire more security now because of that.
For all of the kids in the school that are now at higher increased risk of having something
Put out
happen.
the address and things like that.
Well, they won't be in those schools for much longer.
No, they got to move them. 100% they got to move them. There was a tweet that I read. There's about 15 million Jewish people in this world. Kanye has 30 million Twitter followers. What he's doing is dangerous, not just by speaking out about Jewish people. In general, for society, it is dangerous what he's doing. And again, I loved him musically. But what he is doing with his words it's shameful. That's what I'm going to say. And, you know, he continues to say, I'm a genius and I'm in this way and people are out to get him or whatever it might be. You can't do what you're doing. It's a dangerous path, and I think this is it for him. This
He's
might
spiraling,
be,
you
it's
think?
done. I think this is done career-wise. If you're a big brand, you're Adidas, you already cut ties. You want to do that again? You're Nike, no? You're the Gap? Like, are you going to continue to put his stuff in your stores? When he's saying things like this, no one's going to work with you ever again when you're doing this.
We've said that before, and he's come back. Do you think this is it for him, Sid? Do you think that this is...
I think what's amazing, there's a lot of amazing things in what you just went through. Sometimes what you see in situations like this, period, celebrity world, non-celebrity world, is someone who's just completely out of mind. Forgive me for this caller and this topic. If someone who's out of mind is just trying to get attention for whatever reason. Doda was a #1 record on Billboard.
Yeah.
So Kanye is still kind of there, right? So I think he's done. There's many reasons why he's done. Hate speech online is a criminal offense. Canada, the States, it's not that different. I wish we had stronger rules here, quite frankly. But in the States, that is no joke what he threw out there for a lot of reasons. You can be charged for that. And you just went through the numbers on what it means social media-wise. He better lawyer up. He's not as smart as he thinks he is. That is a criminal act, what he did with that tweet, and he's going to have to answer for it. And that's all I'm going to say on it, because we don't have another hour now.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is right. Like, we've had many, many segments on the show where it's happening here in Canada.
Yeah.
The increase in violence, the increase. To think he has a platform this big, this powerful, he knows his influence. And all it takes is influencing a handful of people to incite even more hate. And then that's on him, regardless, because we always bring up his mental health issues. He's been diagnosed with bipolar.
But he said he was misdiagnosed.
But he said he was misdiagnosed.
So it's a lot. It's somebody who has had to suffer in the sense of being told he was never good enough, never got the doors open for him, being a black man in America and having that kind of attitude from people back at you. You should know better.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much anger you have inside of you, how bad you feel like you've been done wrong. You need to be better.
That's right.
And that's it. There's a lot that we could be talking about. I know we went over, but there's a lot there. And people need to pay attention to what he's been saying. And those words are harmful, and you got to stop with that.
I'm with it. Sometimes we got to go over because we got to.